Hi, everybody. Here we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Get Even More Speaking Opportunities. If I don't know you already, I'm Bobbie Carlton. I'm the founder of Innovation Women, and we are here today from Innovation Women to help you out with speaking engagements. So, Emily, I want to say hello to the gang. There you
Hello,
go.
I am Emily. I work as a member support team member at Innovation Women. At any point, if you have questions, drop them into the Q&A as Bobbie mentioned, and I will do my best to filter them, address everything as I can, or also answer them in chat myself.
Or flag me down because I'm moving fast because we've got lots and lots of stuff. I've got somebody saying no audio. If somebody can confirm that, yes, indeed, there is audio, that would be fabulously helpful. All right, there is audio. All right, whoever said no audio, I don't know what to tell you, but check it out. Maybe check those connections, your speakers. Maybe there's something with your earpod. So, okay, we're going to get started. And we have slides. So, moving on, get even more speaking opportunities. And I do love to start this with a little story. As a speaker, I always feel it's important to start with stories. It was 2019, and I got a phone call. It was someone from Suffolk University, part of the TEDx team, and they were inviting me to be part of their TEDx presentation. And not going to lie, I was super pumped, very excited. Oh my goodness, of course. Yes, yes, yes. I will be there for you. When is it? And they said, Tuesday. And I said, oh, heck no. You do not do a TEDx presentation with 3 days' notice. So I went into the Innovation Women database. I found a whole bunch of people who were crazy enough to want to do a TEDx in just 3 days. Went back to the organizers and said, here you go. And they said, no, no, we need you. And I said, why? And they said, well, our theme is innovation. And you founded Innovation Nights and Innovation Women. So we kind of need you. I'm like, well, you could have told me that beforehand. But I'm telling you this story because it is just one example of how people get speaking engagements. You get known for something, and people call you when they need you. So, just one sampling of the many different ways that you can use to get speaking engagements. Just name your company for the theme of the conference. If I don't know you already, hi, I'm Bobbie Carlton. I'm the founder of Innovation Women. I have multiple jobs, multiple hats. My day job is I run a PR and marketing firm. My night job for many years was something called Innovation Nights. And then Innovation Women is my dream job. It's the dream of getting more women on stages at conferences and events. I'm not just the founder, I'm also a speaker myself. I did that TEDx. It's not too bad if you go looking up. Be kind. Again, 3 days notice. I've spoken at some cool places, including the United Nations. I was a keynote for the IEEE Women in Engineering Conference, keynote for the SCORE Women's Business Summit, Women in Tech Summit. But I am here today with a number of different things to talk about. I also engaged in a little bit of retail therapy during the earliest days of the pandemic, and I bought two more companies, one of which is called My Speaker Leads. It's a research service for professional speakers, providing weekly downloads of speaker leads. And I also bought Lioness Magazine for the female entrepreneur. Lioness is a digital magazine focused on inspiration and information for women entrepreneurs. But all of those jobs aside, got one job today, and that's to get everyone here in the room to say yes to public speaking. So that is my 100% goal. Today's agenda, we're going to talk real quickly about the benefits of public speaking. We're going to talk about how to get more speaking opportunities. Then we're going to talk about how to get even more speaking opportunities. We're going to take a peek inside Innovation Women. And then we've got a little bit of bonus, more opportunity strategies. And at the end, we're going to give folks that are interested in joining Innovation Women a coupon code. So that'll be good through the end of this month. Innovation Women is a mission for me. I know that 2/3 of all conference speakers are men, and it leaves women out of all kinds of business and career opportunities. Now, that doesn't mean that men, male allies, aren't welcome at Innovation Women. So if you are an underrepresented speaker, we still represent you. Innovation Women's goals are gender balance and diversity on stage. We connect directly speakers and subject matter experts with event managers. And event manager is kind of a generic term that we use. It could be a podcaster looking for guests. It could be a college or university looking for everything from guest lecturers to speaking series speakers. It could be a journalist looking for expert sources. And we offer education and encouragement for women to get on stage. Now, all that aside, we've got real goals, things like pay equity, funding for female founded companies. I don't know if you've heard this number before, but less than 2% of all venture capital goes to women founded companies. So we want to fix that. More women in the boardroom, more women in the C suite, and more women seen as thought leaders and experts. So, the benefits of public speaking, I call them the 5 C's. Number one, you get to demonstrate your competence. Number two, you get to build your confidence and demonstrate it. A lot of people tell me that they're going to work on their confidence and then get involved with public speaking. No, no, no. I want you to get on stage because it does help build your confidence. The third C is connections. You may think about making connections with the people that you're speaking at from the stage, but you're actually making more connections than that. If I say something particularly brilliant, it's happened before and it could happen again, you might tell someone. So I'm making a second degree connection that way. But if you are speaking at a conference or an event, you are the content that that event is promoting. So people see your name, your company name, your picture, your topic, even before you get on stage. So you are making connections even before you step foot on stage. The fourth option is credibility. You are enhancing your credibility. If you think about it this way, when we're on stages, we are often physically elevated above the audience. People literally are looking up to us. And when you are selected as one of the speakers, you get a lot of credibility, thought leadership status, expert status. So it's really a big win for you on the credibility scale. And of course, everybody's favorite cold hard cash. Now, doesn't mean necessarily that you get paid for speaking opportunities. This is one of the big, deep, dark secrets of public speaking. Not every speaker is getting paid to be on that stage, but you could be compensated. You could have a business model that allows you to connect with customers to drive product sales, consulting, coaching clients, all of that comes in through public speaking and puts money in your pocket. There's also a direct correlation between public speaking prowess and higher salaries. If you're working for somebody else, if you are an employee, you will have a higher salary when you demonstrate your public speaking chops. So, this is what everybody's here for today. How do you get more opportunities? Number one, let's find the right opportunities. Not every opportunity is created equal. You want to be in front of potential customers, not necessarily competitors. So, I have almost 40 years of experience in public relations. I headed up global PR for big enterprise software companies. I've worked on some amazing crisis communications projects. You would think I would be looking for speaking engagements at the Public Relations Society of America. I mean, they're lovely and all, but for me, that's me speaking to a whole room full of my competitors. So I want to go where my customers are. My customers are often startups and small companies, and also obviously customers of Innovation Women. So event organizers and women subject matter experts. You want the opportunity to shine. You also want to be presenting a topic that you can own and become known for. So you get those invitations, like we talked about earlier. Number two, more opportunities come every time you knock it out of the park. If you want more opportunities, you need to deliver more. If you are a speaker who's doing a really good job, every time you do a speaking engagement, it should produce other opportunities. So maybe it's the opportunity to come back next month, next year, or it could be someone in the audience is treating that as an audition and they are going to invite you after you come down off the stage. So if you are finding that you get more repeat business, if you find that every opportunity is begetting more opportunities, good job, you are hitting it out of the park. Number three, speaking begets speaking. This we started talking about that in number two, but the more speaking you do, the more speaking you will do. We're right now in Olympics, right? Everybody's watching the Olympics and that Olympic torch. They are lighting one torch off another, heading off to Italy with the torches and the flame. Think about that when it comes to your speaking. You want to be lighting the next opportunity from the stage that you're on. Number four, make friends. We have a whole concept inside Innovation Women. I call it speaker friends. Every Friday morning, I am hosting a speaker friend Zoom call. Anywhere between 50 and 100 people show up every week. And part of it is great introductions, breakout rooms, helping each other. Boy, the chat's moving a mile a minute while people are making connections. And when people get to know you, when they see you in action, other speakers may do referrals for you. I couldn't make this particular speaking engagement, so I referred one of my speaker friends. Making friends with event managers, same thing. When they get asked by another event organizer, hey, do you know somebody who could do this presentation? They will refer you. So do a good job for the event managers, and the gifts keep on coming. Number five, write a book. There is no more authoritative source for information than the person who literally wrote the book. You have increased credibility and visibility. And a little side bonus, you have so many more additional business models, ways of getting compensated if you have a book. They may not have budget for the speaker, but they may have a swag budget. They may have a budget that allows them to put your book in every gift bag or on every seat. Or maybe it's just you're at the back of the room after you're done with your presentation, signing and selling copies of your book. So, writing the book makes you a more credible speaker and also tends to deliver more speaking opportunities. Host a podcast. Now, obviously, everything I said about becoming an author holds true with becoming a podcast host. But there's one additional thing that I want to point out here. You get to have guests on your podcast. And when you have a guest, those people, you're spending some serious quality time with them, getting to know them. So here come the referrals and here come the bookings from that relationship that you started by having a guest on your podcast. So, number 7, I want everyone to think much more expansively about public speaking. I think we think too narrowly about public speaking. Generally, what I hear, what people think in their mind's eye about public speaking is it's one person on stage by themselves, all alone, in front of, this massive room full of people. Well, number one, that's a little intimidating for kind of your first time out, but most people don't just kind of vault up on stage as the keynote. So you could be a featured speaker, maybe a breakout speaker. You could be a panelist. Panelist is a great way to get involved with public speaking. Number one, you are sitting in the comfy chairs, right? You're having a conversation with your peers and you get to rub elbows with the other VIPs. You get to be seen as an authority. And it's not quite so intimidating, right? You don't have to put together a whole presentation. Often you're just having that conversation, answering questions. You could also be a co presenter or you could be doing webinars. This is public speaking, folks, right? Podcast guest or interviewee. You are still getting your message out there. You could also be the moderator or the MC at an event. Moderator is hanging out with the panelists, asking the questions without the pressure of answering questions. You are doing the asking. And this is one way for people who might be a little intimidated by the whole idea of public speaking. If you are just getting started and you're a little nervous, it's okay. Start going to conferences and events and asking questions from the audience. When you ask a question, you have just become that speaker on stage's best friend. Because as a speaker, there is nothing worse than being on stage, finishing up, saying, "Does anyone have any questions?" And there are crickets, right? It kills you. Oh my goodness. Nobody cared enough to ask a question. But you in the audience, raise your hand, introduce yourself, maybe share your context, your background, your company name, and ask your well thought out, intelligent, non promotional question, right? Then, congratulations, you're a public speaker too. You have just spoken to the same audience that the speakers on stage spoke to. And you didn't need to apply, create a presentation, get selected. You shortcutted the whole process. Now, your presentation may have been very short, so you might want to do a bunch of these, but it's a great way to get started. Number 8. Remember when I said non promotional a few seconds ago? I mean it. You do not want to give a sales pitch from the stage. As we say, tell, not sell. Share, not sell. No one likes to be sold to. When you are presenting, part of knocking it out of the park, part of doing a great job so you get invited back is not selling. Doesn't mean you can't drop a few breadcrumbs along the way and let people know that certainly they could hire you or certainly you're a coach. But if you stand on stage and basically pitch everybody or sell to everybody the entire time, you will find people headed for the door. Just like this webinar cannot be 100% a sales pitch for Innovation Women. People would be leaving. So we need to make sure that we are providing information for people when we do speaking engagements. Provide the education. Okay. Number 9, solve a problem. Don't be the solution in search of a problem. You want to be positioning yourself as the answer that people are seeking. And yup, here come the invitations. Here come the successes when you are looking for speaking engagements. If you solve a problem, you are everybody's hero. Number 10, I want everybody to understand the call for speakers. This is the basic currency of public speaking. Conferences and events, quite literally, the event organizers do the equivalent of standing on a mountaintop waving their arms and saying, "Come to me with your ideas." This is called a call for speakers. If you search the internet, you will find call for speakers, and that is the way to go. That's a great way to get started, to let people know that you are available. So many conferences and events put out calls for speakers. Quite literally, go over, open up a new tab, look at Google, type in call for speakers, put in your topic, maybe put in the year so you don't get the old stuff. You only get the new stuff. Right now on Innovation Women, we have almost 800 open calls for speakers, right? There are calls for speakers in every industry, in every location. This is what they use to find you. Number 11, I would be remiss. This is not a sales pitch. This is just information. I would be remiss if I did not mention Innovation Women. As part of Innovation Women, we have a database of opportunities. Not only that, we have that database, but we are also constantly marketing to event organizers, reminding them, hey, 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 here we are. Come to our platform, invite speakers, put in your own call for speakers so our members can apply. There are all kinds of great platforms out there, but this is the one that we have, and we're on a mission to get everybody on stage. Okay, now, those are the first ones. We've got even more ways to get on stage because I took it as a personal challenge to find more opportunities. Number 12, if you find a conference, an event, an organization that you're like, those are my people right there, sign up for their newsletters. Often they let their subscribers know first when they have opened up their call for speakers. And they are probably sharing more than just that big annual event. if you're signing up for their newsletter, you'll probably see the local monthly events. Maybe they have chapters that have monthly gatherings, or maybe they do a webinar series. So you're going to see and know all of the different things that they do, and that knowledge is power. Knowing first, it avoids the last minute Larry application into the call for speakers. If the deadline for a call for speakers is February 11th, don't be the person at midnight applying. You want to apply when they first come out. Some conferences and events have rolling acceptances. They will take applications, they will look at them individually as they come in, and they will pick people until they are full, until they have the whole agenda filled up. Now, that could mean that you applying at midnight on the day of the deadline are out of luck. So, you want to make sure that you apply early. This is my advice. And getting on that newsletter list helps you find out as soon as they open the opportunity. Not every event and conference does that. Some wait until they've got the deadline and everything, and they review all hundreds of these applications. But some do grab people on a rolling basis. Number 13, follow the leader. Where did the biggest names in your industry or speaking on your topic speak last year or the year before or the year before that? Maybe it's time for that organization to invite you to speak or for you to apply, right? If the leader in your industry spoke at a conference 3 years ago, maybe it's time. So you want to look at where the leaders in your industry speak and follow them. Most people, when they do speaking engagements, they post about it on their social media or they have a list on their website of places they've spoken in the past. Good opportunities for you to find new opportunities. All right. Number 14, create your own stage. Don't wait to be invited to somebody else's stage. And by the way, this is what I did. In 2009, I started Innovation Nights. And every month, I got to stand on stage and be the host and the MC and the really awkward center of attention. But it gave me the chance to practice. It gave me the chance to be on stage and to become known as somebody who could speak on a range of different topics. So, create your own stage is a good option for you. All right, this is where we go and take a peek inside Innovation Women. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a minute. And Emily, are there questions that I need to address?
Yes. So they're probably going to be addressed in the next couple of minutes.
Okay.
Um, but I think this one is really poignant. Is Innovation Women an exclusive platform, or can speakers be on multiple platforms?
Oh my goodness. Yes. Actually, it's kind of fun because one of the things that happens is we do have some speaker bureaus, like traditional speaker bureaus, that put their speakers on Innovation Women for more opportunities. We don't take a portion of your speaker fee, so it really doesn't matter to us if you're other places. Quite frankly, I encourage that. Like, go forth, multiply, all that good stuff. I know that means something different. Don't worry.
Oh,
You
my
all right
goodness.
there? You okay? Okay. Oh, something is Emily, I think, has a fire drill. Awesome. All right. I'm gonna go and check out the Q&A here. Um, and I think some of these I'm looking at the questions uh, on the platform here. And I think a lot of these are questions that we're going to answer as I do a quick demo. So I'm going to start that demo and I'm going to hope that Emily comes back. I think that was definitely like a fire drill that happened where she was. So I'm just going to go off and do a quick tour around Innovation Women while she handles that whole thing. All right. So the next question I have is, did we start the recording? Lisa, can I ask you, did we start the recording? Yes, we did. Okay, cool. All right. So tour around Innovation Women. Um, we have all kinds of resources on the outside of Innovation Women. One of the things to understand about Innovation Women is we are a number of different websites stitched together with all kinds of great offerings. Our event calendar on our main website is where our speakers are speaking. We also have a terrific webinar series. We host that on Bright Talk, and we feature a lot of our speaker members on that. We also have our own bookstore. A lot of Innovation Women members are also authors, and we promote them on our bookstore. I am not out in the garage shipping out books. All we are doing is connecting to where those books are sold, whether it's Amazon, bookstore.org, or a publisher's website, or maybe your own website if you're self publishing. We have our own podcast database. A lot of our members are also podcasters, and we promote them on our podcast database. And I am now going to go and log in and introduce people to Innovation Women. We are going to start off with my speaker profile. This is a profile on Innovation Women, includes my featured video. I have one of Innovation Women's new entrepreneur profiles. That means that I can promote my coaching services. I do a little bit of speaker coaching, a very tiny little bit. I prefer to use my time one to many versus one to one, but I do have speaker coaching services. I have links to all of my social media. I have a link to my calendar. This is great in terms of getting bookings. Event organizers want to see that you are available on the dates that they want to have you speaking. I also have my downloadable speaker one sheet. And if you don't have a speaker one sheet or you don't know what one is, don't worry, we got you covered. We have a whole educational module showing you how to create one, and it even includes templates. If you don't have a speaker video, having a speaker video is so important. Again, don't worry, we've got you covered as part of your Innovation Women membership. You can create a great introductory video where you introduce yourself, you talk about your area of expertise, and you talk about your signature talk, and you can append a video of you speaking if you have one. We include biographies, passions, origin story, best story, information about whether I am willing to travel and if I get paid to speak, because don't forget, we cover basically from professional speakers who get paid tens of thousands of dollars per presentation to people who are just getting started. So we've got a very broad range. The topics and keywords that I speak on, I also have highlighted one particular keyword here, and this is what I call my matches topics. And you can see that in my matches up here, I have 79 matches that the system has identified for me. So I don't need to go in and search the database manually. It is automatically giving me its suggestions for what makes sense for me. I also have example talks. This is where I have abstracts and descriptions of talks that I want to give. They include my takeaways and information about the audiences that I speak to. Very handy when you are filling out a call for speakers, because that information is right there at your fingertips. This is the database of open opportunities. So I can go in and I can search this database. Right now, there's looks like I'm doing math, over 750 open opportunities. I can filter by topic, industry, whether they're in person or online. I can even do it based on location. Maybe I don't want to travel and I only want to do things here in the Boston area. So that gives me an opportunity, and I can go for local, nearby, or regional. Maybe I'm okay traveling up to 100 miles. I can drive there, and this gives me things that I can apply for. So maybe I want to go and speak at the Boston Code Camp. This gives me the link to check it out online and the link directly to where I would sign up to present. So the submissions are open until Friday. So Galentine's Day is your deadline for that particular opportunity. Then, once I've applied, I can change the status, letting people know, letting myself know that I applied, and then it will get added to the opportunities in my dashboard. So this is allowing me to track my opportunities. I can add notes. I can also upload my own opportunities. And here is where the matches are. So the system suggestions on the matches are included in my dashboard. And I'm going to scroll down just a little bit. One of the things that Innovation Women does that, quite frankly, I think is somewhat unique is we have a button on every single speaker profile, and it's called the Promote Yourself button. And the Promote Yourself button gives us, Innovation Women, our marketing team, information about all the cool things that you have done, and we promote those. We have a monthly newsletter that goes out, our Speakers in Action. We have blog posts, we have social media. So, what we're doing is we are promoting what it is you do. And these are the things that I have put in through my own promotional requests so I can track them. Now, Innovation Women members, speakers are also event organizers. Event organizers can come in and they can search the database. They can also put up their own calls for speakers. I am the chair for the Forbes Business Council Public Speaking Group. So I put up my own call for speakers and I have speakers apply. So this is my upcoming event. I've got Maria Franzoni, who is coming to speak to my group, and I have confirmed her through the platform. So, as an Innovation Women speaker, you are also accessing the event manager capabilities. I'm going to look at my list of speaking engagements. I can attach these to my profile, and this is what event organizers see. These are our featured speakers. We change those out every month. We can search by topic, by industry, by location. We can even search if we already know the person's name by name. Maybe we are putting together a panel that's all based on titles. I want a panel of chief marketing officers. So I can search Innovation Women by title. And colleges and universities love to have their own alumni come and speak. So you can search by graduate or undergraduate degrees. So you can find your own alumni if you are working for a college or university. And you can also add your own call for speakers to the platform. So long as you are not charging speakers, we don't allow that on Innovation Women. And one of the things about that is if you do get solicited through the platform, you can flag that event and let us know, and we boot them. We take them right off. As an event organizer, I can also create a list of speakers. Maybe I need a new speaker every month. You can also create a list that allows you to go through and select a whole bunch of folks. So you can do a little bit of comparison there. These again are my events. So I have my Forbes Business Council event. And this is the Innovation Women Green Room. This is where all of the Innovation Women education lives. So this content opens up in a separate tab. This is where we have the recordings for Speaker Friend Fridays. We have different educational materials on getting compensated, on how to elevate your career, getting booked, Innovation Women shortcuts. And remember earlier, I said if you don't have a video, well, here is how you create a video on the Innovation Women platform. And by the way, you can use that video anywhere you like. We have special promotions for authors. And remember earlier, I said if you don't have a speaker one sheet, we got you covered there too. This is a video explaining everything about speaker one sheets. And there's an article. And there are 3 template options. So we got everything for you. Now I'm going to go back into Innovation Women, and you'll notice we have a community. So I'm going to click on community.
We do have a
And
couple
this is
questions if you want me to jump
okay.
in with anything that might help guide your hand here. Uh,
That would be great. I just want to get to
Go ahead.
one thing about the community. This is where Innovation Women members network. Okay. This is where they connect with each other in addition to the Innovation Women speaker friends. So now that we've shown you all of those bits and pieces of Innovation Women, let's head off and answer some of those questions. And I stopped sharing my screen, but I can go back if we need to answer some of those questions and demonstrate something at the same time. Go ahead, Lisa.
Yeah, sorry to cut in on that because the community is one of my favorite parts of our offering. Gives a 24/7 way to interact with other members.
Mhm.
I just thought it was a good question to jump in. Can you provide more info on the type of companies, brands, markets, and industries that you might promote your speakers to? That's kind of a twofer answer, I think, for us.
So when you say you,
Innovation Women, I think.
Innovation Women. So Innovation Women has a mailing list of about 25,000. We also push Innovation Women promotions out to Innovation Nights and to Lioness Magazine. So it's kind of, I want to say everything. And as a marketer, that like hurts my soul because we always say if your target market is everyone, you're not really targeting people. But couple of quick things. Innovation Women was originally started, hence the name, focusing on technical and entrepreneurial women. And it expanded very quickly. We had a real estate agent showed up and I was like, no, this isn't for you. But she got a speaking engagement. And then we had a yoga teacher and I was like, no, this isn't for you. And she got a speaking engagement. And pretty soon it was 190 different industries with more than 12,000 topics. We aren't as strong in some areas as we are in others. I have so many digital marketing people. We're super strong there. I would love to see more people in life sciences. I actually just had a meeting yesterday with an organization that's looking at how they can bring more people in life sciences into Innovation Women. We are strongest geographically in the US, but we do have speakers all over the world. And I think in terms of kind of the levels, we have a lot of subject matter experts, like people who are deep into topics and industries and they have years of experience, but they might not have spent a lot of that time on stage. And so they're looking to leverage their years of experience. So, not a great answer for exactly who, but we do have a pretty broad reach. Hopefully that's helpful.
Yeah, I think that hits on the crux of the question there. How, I think this is just a general good question. How do you arrive at the topic areas you want to be known for, especially if you have loads of
Yeah.
experience across various fields? This person says sometimes they find themselves at an intersection and perhaps creating a niche that might not exist yet. You didn't answer and say you can create your own stage. So they
Yep.
acknowledged you went into that a little bit, but just if there's anything else to add on that.
Yeah, I mean, generally when I'm working with speakers who are trying to create their signature talk, I invite them to consider a three-circle Venn diagram. And that Venn diagram includes the first circle, which is your area of expertise, but it also includes your passions. Like I am super excited and super passionate about the power of public speaking. Like I get excited about it, weirdly so, but it also means that I give good presentation on that topic. And yes, it, builds on 40 years of experience getting other people on stage. So that's the first circle. The second circle is what you want to be known for. Like I am really good at making a chocolate cake, but that is probably not what I want to be known for, except among my family. So I'm going to focus on what I want to be known for. I want to be known for public speaking. That's like my brand. And then the third circle in that Venn diagram is the pain and problem and the needs of your audience. What do they want? What do they need? What are they looking for? What is the request? What is the questions? Like if you ask people, what do you have as a problem that you know I could help you with? That will often help you zero in on your topic. And when you get that little overlapping section of your Venn diagram, you know you've got a winner.
Yeah, that's a great answer. Would you say that traditional speaker bureaus are still valuable?
They are for certain people. And generally, you want to go to a speaker bureau, a traditional one, when you have so much business that you can't manage it yourself. They are really good at booking, at negotiating, but they are taking 20 to 30% of your fee. So generally the kind of rule of thumb is speaker bureaus are for people who are getting about $7,500 a pop at the low end and are booking, right? You want to have that kind of business before you go to a speaker bureau. Or there is another person that a speaker bureau is good for. Somebody who is in the news, who is suddenly getting this influx of queries. Often they don't have kind of the expertise and the contracts and the contacts to manage that. So they need that speaker bureau because all of a sudden they are famous or infamous. So they need somebody to manage that. So that's when a speaker bureau is a win.
Yeah, that makes sense. Some infrastructure support to help
Hmm.
get them
Yeah,
out there.
they're very good at that. Very, very good at that.
Yeah. Speaking of expectations about compensation,
Mhm.
speaker fees, travel, meals, lodging paid, don't trying to keep the out-of-pocket expenses down, I guess that question
Yep,
is sort of what would you determine to be compensation, or what are some of the out of the box, ways of getting paid, if not
absolutely.
being a paid speaker? And there's also a question about paid speaking gigs and pro bono. I don't know if we want to split those in two because they are both about getting paid to speak.
Let's talk about getting paid. All right.
Got it.
This is the number one question I get asked. And it's also probably the most common topic inside Speaker Friends. So, we've got 6 years worth of discussion on that recorded on our website and so much time and attention paid to that because we are providing valuable information. We need to be compensated for the value we deliver. We need compensation in order to do the thing that we are doing, which is hard when it comes to speaking. My husband's a musician, and we have some very common conversations about compensation. You know, musicians are expected to play for exposure, and speakers are the same thing. Half of all event managers have no budget for speakers. 42% are only paying some speakers. They have money for the keynote. They often have money for the people doing workshops. So that means that you need to figure out what your speaker business model is. Like, I speak a lot to people where I am furthering the Innovation Women mission. I am helping people get on stage. I am helping event organizers. So I will travel far and wide to get to events which offer me an audience of event managers, for example, because I can talk to them about how to use Innovation Women. I can promote Innovation Women. Like, that's part of what I do. So I also get in front of audiences who might hire my agency, or I get in front of audiences that may offer me an audition. In other words, there are people in that audience that I want to have them see me. So they will hire me and bring me into their corporation to do paid presentations. So inside Innovation Women, we talk a lot about speaker business models. We talk about how you determine who's getting paid and how you get to be one of them. We talk about positioning yourself. We have Speaker Marketing Club right now, and the lesson this week is on premium positioning language. And that premium positioning language is looking to elevate you as a speaker and talking about the value that you deliver and value-based pricing. So there's a tremendous amount of stuff about getting paid to speak, understanding how to ask the question, do you have a speaker budget, in a way that doesn't cut you off from opportunities, but also lets people know you're savvy, you know what's going on, and you don't get taken advantage of. So that's part of what we're doing there. I think we've got time for like one more question because I do want to make sure I get the opportunity to share the bonus stuff that I put together.
Yeah,
So Lisa,
we've
is
got a
there a
couple more.
particular question?
Yeah, we can probably answer some of these via email too, and we'll follow up with that recording when we send that out. I'll grab these.
Sure.
The last one might be a good way to loop back around. It says, how do you become a featured speaker? Someone noticed that as you were looking around the community. That's a great question.
So well, if you are an Innovation Women member, your promote yourself button on your profile, the last option in the list is featured speaker. So all you have to do is go into the promote yourself button and fill out that little form. So that's how that happens. All right. Is there anything else, Lisa?
No, they're just about
Nope.
speaking.
Okay.
There was one about a specific event. Someone's curious if you're familiar with Disrupt
Oh
HR.
yeah,
Not
absolutely.
paid, but they get a pro recording and if it's worth it.
That's key. Like, we just did a Speaker Friends live event a couple of weeks ago. We generated almost 2,000 videos and pictures of our members. And these allowed our members to do things like create sizzle reels, to use social media stuff, showing them in action. Like, everybody needs that picture of themselves with the microphone, right, in front of an audience. And it's hard to get those videos and pictures if you haven't been on stage. And yet you often find that you need that video. Event managers need to see you in action. So that's what's going on there. And yes, Disrupt HR is one of the places, just like a TEDx, you have that really good, high quality video. All right, I am going to go off to my slides again. I've got bonus stuff. And I also promised a coupon code. So that coupon code, weep, What did I just do there? I don't know what I did. Okay, so if you want to join Innovation Women, Feb 2026, Feb, FEB is all capital letters, and that will get you 30%, $30, sorry, $30 off all levels. So you can be a content creator, an entrepreneur, or just our regular Innovation Women membership. And if you start with the regular membership, you can always upgrade. If you like author a book and you want to become a content creator and take advantage of all the authorship promotions that we author, you just upgrade when you got your book ready to go. So, Feb 2026. All right, bonus stuff. More opportunities to get on stage. When you are a great speaker, be a storyteller, right? Tell stories, make your stories concise and relatable. Get to the outcome you want to demonstrate and immerse the audience. What this does is it makes you memorable, right? Everybody here is going to remember that I was silly enough to take on a speaking engagement, a major speaking engagement that everyone can see with only 3 days notice, right? That's a story that you will remember and it makes you memorable, which means that it's easier for other people to recommend you for speaking engagements. Don't be predictable. I have a little model. I call it spam. Okay, you want to be surprising. You want to offer a plot twist and make things counterintuitive. This is how you get people's attention. You get them off their phones. How often have you been sitting in an audience watching other members of the audience doing their email? If that speaker is not predictable, if they are offering something exciting and different and new, people are not on their email. They are paying attention. And then again, hitting it out of the park. You get more inbound invitations. Being entertaining. You just want to be the life of the party when you are a speaker. You cannot just offer dry information. Being humorous, being funny, being entertainment. You don't need to be a stand-up comedian, but you do need to have fun and let the audience have fun too. Again, this helps people remember you. And be unique. Don't be like everybody else. Be yourself. Authentic speakers win in the marketplace. So looking at other people, watching what they do, sure, good education, but I want you to be yourself on stage. And I also want everybody here to say yes to public speaking. Don't listen, Lisa. Whether you join Innovation Women or not, say yes to public speaking. Okay? I know you can do it. All right. And again, if you do want to join us, it's $30 off all levels, Feb 2026. Oh, it's not good through 1/31. It's good through the end of February. Oops. Little typo from me. All right. And thank you, everyone. I know I want to make sure that I get everybody off to their next session. And hopefully this was helpful. Say yes to public speaking. Get out there and do your thing. Let people know how awesome you are. Thank you so much for joining us today. Take care. Bye-bye, everybody.